But during this period, I'd go to work 8 on the dot. 5 o'clock reaches, it's not that I'm shutting down. I've already shut down and I am out.
Hello and welcome to The Peculiar People. My name is Victor. Today we are in part 3 of Monique's story, and I hope you're gaining nuggets along the way. By the way, if you missed part 1 and part 2, I invite you to check out the description below. There'll be links to guide you to those videos. But if you're with us in part 3, let's get into it and listen to Monique's story.
So like I've said, I've had good bosses, but my last boss, now I can laugh, then it was not a laughing matter. I got this boss. First and foremost, he used to belittle me in front of juniors. If I make a mistake, and sometimes it was not even mistakes, he would send emails and copy every Tom, Dick and Harry. And now when I look back, I realize the people he used to copy on email are people who I think had either respected me or were my friends. I don't know what he was trying to communicate, but that was the lowest time of my career. Yeah. My self-confidence went completely down because according to him, I knew absolutely nothing. Yeah. In fact, sometimes he would ask me, really? Have you used your common sense? And the emails he would send, do you know, you know how you see an email pop up and I see it's from him, my heart would skip. It was horrible. I'm one person who never goes to work, 8 to 5. I was an early person, work sometimes past 5 o'clock. But during this period, I'd go to work 8 on the dot. 5 o'clock reaches, it's not that I'm shutting down. I've already shut down and I am out. My demeanor had completely changed. In fact, I would meet some of my colleagues because being in HR, you would interact with staff, and some of them would ask me, Monique, are you sick? Some would ask me, Monique, is something wrong? And I'll tell them, no, I'm okay. But the turmoil that was in me was too much. And the more you try to do things right, the more mistakes you would find. It was so bad. At one point, I was taken through disciplinary, and part of the panelists were my juniors. Yeah. In fact, one of them actually later came and told me, Monique, you're actually strong. But what made me decide this is it? The moment I started having accidents. I would have small little accidents. Sometimes as I'm leaving the parking, I would hit, in fact there's a time I hit a car and I'm thinking, how did I do that? Then another time in the roundabout, that's when I realized, Monique, you need to make a decision. Yeah? You either change or change. And I remember, in fact, I just decided this is it. I'm resigning with or without a job or something else. And I don't know if that's the case. When you're looking for a job, of course I started looking for jobs. I got called for interviews. But somehow I would not go past salary negotiations. Oh, Monique, In fact, the last one I still remember, it's the owner of the institution. It was an academic institution. The owner actually called me and says, Monique, you are the best candidate. I would like us to discuss salary. And we discussed, and that was it. They did not come back to me. And I'm thinking, Do you know what? Again, but this time I took time. And like the other time, I really prayed about it. Not just prayed, I prayed and fasted. I had a few friends who knew what was going on. Not even a few, the only two. Because this time round, I just said I didn't need a lot of noise. Yeah? I needed to be so sure the decision I'm making is the right decision. Yeah? That those who would walk with me and they knew what I was going through, and especially one of my colleagues, she used to pray with me a lot. And the time I made the decision, I remember I went to Brackenhurst. I just decided, let me go to Brackenhurst. I checked in on Friday evening, was there the evening Friday, the whole Saturday, and the whole of Sunday. And I just prayed, yeah, and asked the Lord to direct me. Yeah, is it true that I'm incompetent? Because this boss had made me believe I'm incompetent at my job, at what I do. But by the time Sunday lunchtime was reaching, it was clear in my mind, I'm going to resign. With or without a job. I had so much peace. This time round, I can't say I had a scripture confirmation. The only confirmation was the peace in me. And that's exactly what I did. But before resigning, I just told myself, I have a mortgage. I don't want to go out with a mortgage. Because one, I'm not so sure I'll be able to afford without a constant source of income. So I prayed again. I said, Lord, help me get a good buyer. One, let me not sell my house at a lower price, but let me sell my house in a way that I will get extra money to help me out there. And the Lord actually answered that. The moment I got a buyer, and the process was 90% complete, when I knew here there is no turning back. Yeah, everything had been done, payments had been, I was just waiting for payment. That's when I tendered my resignation. Yeah. So this was a law that helped me transition. Yeah, I tendered my resignation and I said, I have a sound mind. I know I have the ability, although this time round my confidence level was so low, so low. Yeah, but I kept on telling myself, Monique, you cannot have performed all those years. But I remember even having called two of my previous bosses just to ask them, was I such a bad worker? No, now you can be honest with me because I'm not working under you. They were shocked that I asked that question. But I'm glad I made that decision. I don't regret. And I remember getting my first client as I was on my way to Mauritius. I just struck a conversation with one of the person who was sitting next to me. And I was going back to Mauritius to be retrained. Dale Carnegie had come back to Kenya, but with a different franchise holder. And I got to know about it. And since I remembered where my passion lied, that's the step I took. Yeah, so went to Mauritius, got refreshed, a refresher training, came back and started my journey. And I've never looked back, and I pray I never look back. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Amazing story there. So, what you said that at this point your confidence level was very low. What are the things that you did practically to help you regain your confidence?
First and foremost, I had friends who supported me, who walked with me and kept on reminding me what I'm good at. In fact, the other day I sent a few of them messages. Thank you. I am here because of you. Of course, my mom is my number one support also. Yeah, she prays for me every day, I know that, and she encourages me. Yeah, and the same friends are the same people who would refer me to clients. Yeah, and the feedback I'd get would be good. So that also slowly made me regain my self-confidence. And of course, God. Yeah, I knew this is what He had called me to do. Yeah, and the peace that I had in my heart, slowly I just started rebuilding my self-confidence. Yes.
Okay. And so for moving from employment to entrepreneurship, how was that for you? How did you manage that transition? By the way, before we come there, did you take a break before you now officially started? Did you take a break between employment and entrepreneurship?
Yes, I did. Although I wish I'd taken a longer break. That time you're scared. What if I get used to this life? I remember one of my friends told me, Monique, if you can afford for 1 month, if not 3 months, just do absolutely nothing or do something totally different from work. I didn't take, because I resigned in October. So I would say, on average, I must say I took like 3 months, because my first client was in December of that same year. But it's not something I went looking out for. Remember, it was that discussion from that aeroplane as I was going to Mauritius.
Okay.
That was my first client. Yeah. And now that's what made me now continue. And after that, I just decided, just get on with it.
So this first client was like your bridge.
Yes.
To help you get started.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what did you enjoy most in your career? What are the things that you enjoyed?
For me, it's seeing people transform. That was my greatest joy. Whether as a HR person or even a quality controller, that was my greatest joy. Yeah. In fact, there are 2 incidences I look back with pride. One, when I was still a quality controller, there was a guy who used to make mistakes left, right, and center. And my boss couldn't stand him. But then he was, careless. It's even an understatement. But I just remember asking my boss, give me 1 month to work with him. 1 month went to 3 months, and even convinced my boss, let's send him to the Polytechnic to gain some skill. Do you know, I met the guy 10 years down the line on the streets of Nairobi, and the first thing he told me, Monique, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, you made a difference in my life. For me, that was it. It was a confirmation. Yeah, that what I'm passionate about comes natural. Seeing people transform. Yes.
Little wonder you're doing what you're doing now.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Wonderful. So Monique, thank you very much for sharing with us your story. I think there's nuggets that we can learn. I like the fact that you took that risk at that age to change your career.
Yes.
So those are major risks. And I think for anyone who's listening and at that point where they want to make that decision and they're afraid because of their age, I think you've just given them a little bit of hope there.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing your story
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.